Everybody, been a while. How you doing, Mr. Al?
I'm okay, man. How you?
There now here
Yeah,
trying to search for the truth.
yeah,
The truth will, if you don't find it, it will find you.
yeah. That's for sure.
Welcome, everybody. Um, we're on episode number 57. It's good to have you all here with us. I want to thank Elijah again for setting up our tech and keeping us real, keeping us real. So we were talking on the phone and a little bit, and we were talking about the youth,
Yeah.
and you have some thoughts on that. So,
Well, I think the path that we used to do was go. We went to the part-time job, go to work, get a job, go to school, and they they're on TikTok and all those kind of things where they monetize themselves. If they're lucky, they make some money, but everybody can't make money. Everybody doesn't have what's your platform?
well, so I think it not only make money but make easy money.
Yeah.
Like you said, I don't know. I'm sure every generation talked about the one coming up and saying they didn't have what it takes and they're soft and they don't have the work ethic and then I think of I have two my two kids are one's 40, one's 38, and they both work really hard. They're doing a great job with their career. So, and I know your daughters are knocking it out of the park. So it doesn't
Well,
apply to
it's just that they had somebody to emulate. They had somebody to emulate. I never forget that the youngest one, she was upset that I'm almost 17 years old. I don't have a job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and she saw her sisters go to work at 16.
Yeah.
Okay, and I said, what are you worried about? She said, well, Daddy, I don't have a job. Okay, but then she got a job, and then she's been, they all been working for 20 some years. And they're talking about retiring.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they're in the mid-50s.
Yeah.
Okay, and but it's about they saw me and the mother go to work, and your kids saw you and your wife go to work.
Yeah, my kids they started out like when they were 12 or 13. We were in the youth basketball leagues, and they used to pay the kids to scorekeep and to ref. So
yeah.
So what I always thought was, they had to show up sometimes for 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday morning, where a lot of kids are barely not even getting out of bed. They were getting there,
I did the same thing. I used to do the umpiring when I was, when I was in high school, and yeah. But it's about, I was working with my uncle, and he was a general contractor, and that's what we had to do.
Yeah, you always loved your story about working and having to get in the truck and go to work and build houses and build.
No Saturday, that was every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
Okay, and I had to play.
You didn't know any other way.
I had to play. I had to put baseball. It was baseball season. I had to put baseball in between that.
Yeah, right.
Okay, but I still had to do my duty.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys today, they sit around and they're waiting for something. I don't know. It doesn't come unless you go out and do your job.
You think it's harder today
I think it's not harder. It's real simple. There's jobs out there.
That's what I think. I see a lot of help wanted.
But the thing about the adjustment, okay, the easy money. I'm looking for the easy money job, so I can do the things that I want to do. I want to hang out.
Well, even with the kids we worked with, they some of them were looking for shortcuts.
And what did we teach them?
There isn't any shortcut.
There is
really,
no shortcut.
No.
It's just like my uncle told me back in the day. We used to get supposed to get 50 cents an hour or whatever it was. And I asked him. I said, "Well, when you gonna pay me?" He said, "What do you mean pay you? I put a roof over your head, food in your belly, and clothes on your back. What do you mean pay you?" That's when I went out and got me a part-time job. You got what I'm saying?
Got paid, yeah.
Yeah, well, I got paid to put money in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's with the breakdown of the family, there's nobody that that could guide and lead, that they will listen. That's one of the reasons why I used to go to San Diego. The main reason why I used to go to San Diego so that I could be able to give information and assist and help folks out. But like one of my little cousins said, "Yeah, I don't need a job because I'm not gonna cut my dreads."
Yeah, I heard you say that.
No, well, I'm not gonna cut my dreads. Okay, and I'm thinking to myself, it's just like when they told us we need to wear a shirt and tie. What did we do?
You put a shirt tie.
A shirt and tie on.
Maybe you didn't like it, but you didn't question it.
Hey, you paying me.
Yeah.
You paying me.
That's what you're asking.
Okay, but when you paying yourself, you do whatever you want to do. But see how far that goes.
So you think it's different today in that regard?
Oh man, these guys see like you got these guys with all these dreads and all this kind of stuff, and and I'm thinking to myself, do you really see what you look like? Is that your statement? Okay, how many corporate guys do you see have dreads?
Yeah.
Tell me how many corporate guys do you see have dreads?
I haven't seen any in that regard.
Okay, yeah, you might see the Jay-Z, but Jay-Z he's already made his money. He can dress like he wants to dress.
Yeah, I guess if you're already successful, I guess you can do whatever you want.
Think about all these guys
to get to that.
Think about all these guys playing football. They got all these dreads on their head, and they try to figure out how come they can't get a commercial. Okay,
I want a commercial.
Okay,
they gotta look smart. Huh?
Okay, yeah.
They're not gonna do it.
Oh.
They're not gonna do it. Well, sometimes it just you got to figure it out, and I mean, I always learn. I learned a lot from my various jobs. I always
that's what part-time work was about.
I started working when I was like 14. During the summer. These were
I
summer
started when
jobs.
I was 8.
Yeah. So I made a lot of mistakes. I did a lot of things, but I learned from them.
But you got paid, but you learned from them.
Yeah, well, that was the whole key.
Yeah.
Unless you go out there and extend yourself and put yourself out there, you're not gonna learn. And that's.
But also, what happens is that's the chain of contact. Okay, you listen to other folks, then you say, oh yeah, okay, he's a good guy. I'm gonna send you over here to so and so. Okay, so and so's got a job over there. Okay, because you're a good guy.
So that's like setting up a network. That's like
networking, yeah. Old-fashioned networking.
Old-fashioned networking, yeah. I mean, I don't know if.
I mean, think about how we got together. Okay, Bill Shoemaker.
Yeah, right. That was our
connection. Okay, Bill Shoemaker. Bill Shoemaker came to me and says, "Hey, here's Larry, and he's looking to do da 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 da," and guess what happened? Okay.
Yeah. But that's because you had already had a relationship with him. You trusted him.
Mm-hmm.
You knew that he spoke the truth about whatever it is that he was.
Well, he respected me enough, even as to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. Okay, mm-hmm. I didn't say I ain't gonna help the white boy. Mm-hmm. I never said that's not. That never even entered my mind. He said, "I got a buddy named Larry, and I want you to help him out."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay."
But like you say, like we're saying, I don't know if because it's my kids in their 40s that are now raising kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they have their peers raising their kids,
right.
Other kids, so that's their connection. Are they learning? Are they being taught those kinds of work ethics and value of responsibility and commitment and all the things that are part of it?
Let me ask you a question. Are your grandkids paying attention to their parents?
In some regard, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, one in particular, not so much, but that's the one.
But are they incorporated? Are they incorporated in the business?
Well, a lot of it they get from their grandmother and I. I mean, we're there to kind of guide them along. I'm not saying they aren't getting it. Totally.
Yeah, do they go to work with their parents and help out? And see, the parents say, "Hey, this is what we're doing." Okay.
Well, that's what we're trying to instill in them, and it's kind of like a team. Like we're trying to treat them like a team. You're a part of your team. Your family's a team, and everybody on the team needs to make a contribution. Mm-hmm. Everybody needs to pick up after themselves, put their plates in the
You
dish,
should get
whatever the little
your
things.
job is clean up your room.
Clean up your room.
Yeah.
So that's what we're
And that's a tough one because the kids today, they say you can't tell me what you can't tell me what to do.
Right.
You ain't you oh you this or you that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. But they get on that computer and they listen to Joe Blow, the Kokomo, the pedophile, and they believe the pedophile or the person that don't mean them no good.
Well, before we went on camera, you said about a pedophile. So talk to me more about what you were. What you
just
were
think about they're having such the esteem thing, and what's happening is that the Republicans are protecting it because they're protecting pedophiles.
There's too many names.
And all those names are pedophiles because he was a pedophile. That's what he was doing. He was trafficking young girls.
Right.
Young girls for rich guys. You know, there's a whole bunch of names on there.
So it's almost changed the I don't know, the cultural norm is now where in this case it's allowable.
It's as long as you doing it is bad, as we're doing it is good.
But then too, what I think is really hypocrisy at work is the hiding behind the label of a Christian.
No,
I'm a good Christian, so I couldn't have done something like that.
Yeah.
Because
I'm a Christian.
Yeah, I'm a Christian, and that's supposed to absolve you of all responsibility and accountability.
Like I said, they're different kind of Christians.
Well, I mean, that's another one. That's another thing. This is one kind of Christian. You believe or you don't believe, and if you believe, then there's certain foundation.
You can't believe when it's to your advantage.
Well,
like life is. There's some things you've gone through, and I kept the faith. You know what I'm saying? When my daughter had the tumor, and my son-in-law passed away, and I just had to keep on going. I didn't give up and say, God, you did, but that's part of life. Okay, that's part.
That didn't waver your faith. That didn't.
No, it didn't increase my faith. Increase my faith. Like I told my daughter, don't forsake God. Don't forsake God. Okay, and one of the blessings that I'm thankful that all three of my children go to church.
Yeah,
they believe in that, how to treat people.
Right, yeah.
Okay, how to live their life. I mean,
a moral code that is righteous.
Yeah. Well, you've been with me. What kind of code do you think I live by? All the years that you've been working with me.
Well, you have a way of living your life that you don't waver on, and you are who you are. It's the foundation is. I know you've said, and it's not something you talk about or you put out there, but you have a strong faith.
I believe in God. I believe in doing the right thing by everybody.
Right.
Okay, I don't hold nobody hostage for anything. And you remember we were doing with the kids. We tried. One of the reasons why our program was successful is because there was peace inside the house. Everybody knew that they were treated fairly and squarely. There was no because you did this or you did that. Everybody had a fair shake. And I didn't talk about religion. I never talked about religion because everybody's got their own religion thing. But I tell you, talk about do things right to each other. Okay, and that's the
love thy neighbor.
Love thy neighbor. Okay, because we are our neighbor's keeper. We are our brother's keeper.
Yeah. So we were talking about work ethic and for the youth. What about spirituality and teaching?
Well, the ones that go to college and follow that track, they have an opportunity to get lifelong employment. Okay, the other ones that looking for the easy way, the squeezy way, Okay, they don't have life only for. You got nothing to back up. Okay, there's nothing wrong with trusting yourself, but if you don't have a network around you that are going to keep you going in a direction, then you can't. You know, you think about all those guys that the computer guys. There was a whole group of them. It wasn't just one guy. There was a whole group of them going in that direction. So they all got paid.
Mm-hmm.
You got what I'm saying? They all got paid and became millionaires and all that kind of stuff. Some of those guys are getting paid $10 million.
Who are we talking about here?
Apple people, all those guys.
Technology.
Yeah, but they were in a network.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's think about the educators today in our field. They're hanging out. There's nobody there to guide them and go down the road.
Mentor them. Huh?
No.
So where are you? You know, there's been a few people lately that have passed away. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Jane Goodall and some other
Mm-hmm.
people. You know, whose names were mentioned.
You're right.
And it's like these were good, wholesome people that work. But who's replacing them? Where
Nobody.
Where are the emerging
Because
leaders?
because there's nobody replacing them because they don't view that as important.
View what?
With the kind of work that she was doing.
Well, not just the work, but the quality of character.
Yeah, well,
The devotion that she put to that.
That's
her
not
entire
important.
life. And nobody, it's hard to find people that, and I know they're out there. I know they're out there working hard every day, diligently, under the radar, if you will.
Well, think about this. Would you give President Trump the Nobel Peace Prize? That's important to him. Okay, the only reason it's important to him is because Obama got it. Obama did. You never heard Obama say, "I want the Peace Prize," did you?
Yeah, I mean that's a whole nother,
Okay, but
head shaker, if you will.
okay, but when you like when I was 7 years old, and this is what my father told me: don't go around telling people how great you are. If you're worth anything, they'll let you know.
So when you were growing up in a kind of a impressionable time in your life, who were your people that guided you, that you aspired
my,
to?
my mother,
Yeah.
my father, especially my father. Cause he came through at a tough time.
Right.
Okay, and he taught me a whole lot there. Then I had my uncle Alton and my aunt Willa Mae. They kept on. They taught us. Willa Mae taught us about how to turn the other cheek, how to get along with the white man.
Which is something, being black, you had to contend with. I didn't have to contend with that. I was already part of the. It's like you often think of the statement about sitting in a classroom and looking up on the wall and all the presidents, all the way from Washington, all the way, and how they all looked like me, but you didn't see anybody that looked like you.
Nobody like me. But
So what did that say to you? What was there a message? Was that noticeable?
What it meant is that you had to do it better and harder twice,
Yeah.
and you had to go out there and do it. See, the thing that with especially with young black folks today, they think they're equal. They don't realize that you're not. Okay.
They're told that.
Well, no, they think that you see it in the society, but when the man wants to crack the whip, what does he do?
Yeah. A man is still judged by the color of his skin.
That's right.
Right? Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Is that true?
Because
is that the truth?
That's the truth. Okay. Well, okay. Look at the first thing that the boy did when he got into the military. He fired the 4-star general, black guy.
Yeah.
And then and then he did. What did he do with the woman? He fired her. You get what I'm saying?
So it's not people of color, but it's also gender. So
Gender, yeah.
women are
Well,
taken aback. They're being pushed to the back of the
right,
bus,
because
right?
because if you're a thinking organism, they don't want you involved in this idea, because see, you're not going to bow the knee, you're not going to bend the knee, you're not going to bow down and say yes, you're doing the right thing.
They're going after Letitia James,
Uh-huh,
right? And,
uh-huh.
I mean, I saw where she said, "I'm not going to bow down to this." I mean, stand firm. But see, that goes back to what we were originally talking about, the youth. Who do they look to? Who are their role models outside of their own family? I mean, in our society, who are leaders?
Think about this. That's why do you think they went to Harvard, Yale, and said, if you don't do what I tell you to do, you're not going to get no money.
Okay. Yeah, I got that.
Okay, and so what does that do? It says if you're not teaching the way that I want you to teach, which means those are the institutions of learning. This is what people growth. This is what college do. What did college do for you?
Yeah, well, it expanded my mind, and I became a critical thinker.
There you go.
I mean,
there you go.
I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I mean, I got exposed.
You learn right from wrong, and how to matriculate that environment.
You could see through the bullshit that was part of your life as you grew up, and you could see what you were learning, or what you were being taught, or what you were being exposed to.
Taught how to think.
There's a much bigger world out there than the little world that you grew up in. So going back to made me think. Okay, just now, as you mentioned again before we went on camera about the Penn State coach getting fired. So he gets fired. Obviously, that's I'm sure he probably find a job somewhere else. It's not the end of the world.
They got to pay him They got to pay him $49 million.
Yeah, so he can laugh all the way to the bank in that point. But what about the players? When you take a coach that's been there, who's worked with these kids, who recruited these kids, who brought these kids up, what message does that send to that team?
It sends one thing. Look at Ohio State.
Okay, give me an example.
Last year, the guy only lost one game, and that was to what? Michigan. Okay, and they were ready to fire him.
Right.
Okay, and if he had not went on and won the national championship, they would have fired him.
And he's on track to maybe do it again. Do it again. But I'm thinking, the players. This was somebody that was a leader for these.
But see, you think about this. They're not thinking about that. They're thinking about winning, because winning brings in what?
Well, I mean, I understand why they fire him, and I understand the money part. But I'm going back to the players themselves.
Well, players,
because we were talking about the youth and the influence on the youth, and again, what message is sent to them in the middle of the season? The season's not even half over yet.
If they have the ULL or whatever it is, you ain't worth a damn, because you ain't winning.
And I mean that is the. It's like Trump saying, I don't like losers, I only like winners. So I mean, if you were killed in battle, you were an idiot, prisoner of war. You're a loser. I mean, he talked
and he was a draft dodger,
right? A guy that never even served, but he's the mouthpiece of these people, and he's something historically in this country that we look to our presidents to be leaders, to be people of good character, and we looked up to him. And how do you look up to that? I mean, I'm sure. There's plenty of people that do.
Pay attention to what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
On the bottom level of the society are all those guys, and you see them that don't do anything, but they talk shit. Mm-hmm. And they talk shit, and they get shit going on, but they don't stand for anything. And think about all those people that they get rid of all the Mexicans or whatever. Those are the people that are building houses.
I know, and picking food and serving food and cleaning up after you.
Mm-hmm.
and servicing.
And they were and they're paying, and they're legal people paying taxes who've been misrepresented as being illegal people.
Right. It's
Okay.
all
Okay. Well, he said he was going to go and get all the bad people. But where are the bad people at? Okay. What did I tell you?
The really bad people
are
in the same bed.
What did I tell you a year ago about martial law?
Well, I know that.
And we're right in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't I tell you that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're right in the middle of martial law. Mm-hmm. And he's picking. Now he wants to go to San Francisco.
Right.
Portland told him, Portland, all these places where if they're going to have that rally, no Kings rally, he wants to be there to blow it up.
Yeah.
You got what I'm saying?
I know.
So
and so again, all the fundamental rights that this country was founded on are being eroded.
But people are not paying attention.
Yeah, not all the people. That's for sure. Maybe some are, but well, look, we're gonna wrap this one up. I think 57, but we'll continue our discussion.
Yeah.
And it was good to be back here. Yeah. We're out on the patio.
Out on the patio, smoking a Dogi Dogi.
Smoking a Cohiba.
Cohiba.
Blue labeled Cohiba. So, at least we have our moment here to sit and chat. We still have a right to come together.
As long as we be careful what we say.
I guess we have
because they're monitoring everybody.
Yeah, the ears are on. So, but it was good to go, and we'll take a quick break and be back. So, signing out.
Signing out. Peace out.
Peace out. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Those of you that are out there listening, subscribe to our page so that you can get the notifications of when we're going to record again.